Hey everyone, how's it going? We'll be going over, we're in module 8, and this is lecture 5, if I'm not mistaken. So we're talking about proclaiming your dream. Let me just make this a little bit bigger so you guys can see. All right, proclaiming your dream, developing vision and mission statement. So this is important for your term project, just developing a business in general. You know, one of the first things you want to do, besides the value proposition, is come up with a mission, a statement, a vision statement, and sometimes a value statement, which we'll talk about. So when you turn in your rough drafts and you start to, hone in on your idea, make sure you start with your vision. How do you see your business in the future, and your vision? What's your mission? What's your mission? What drives your business? All right. So what is a vision statement, you might ask? And there's tons of templates, there's tons of examples online, and you're welcome to use all of your resources. But a vision statement is basically your dream. So what is your dream for your idea, for your mission, for your endeavor, your dream? Is it shared, broad, inspiring, easily communicated? These are the things you want to have in your vision statement to kind of get people on board as far as your stakeholders are concerned, because these are the individuals that's going to keep your business in business, for lack of better words. It's going to keep your business competitive. It's going to keep your business sustainable. And when I say stakeholders, I just mean the community, your employees, your customers, anybody that has any involving in your business or your enterprise. It's going to be considered your stakeholders. So what is your mission statement? So basically, what is to be done and why is what you need to focus on. What's your why? Why are you doing this? What do you have to do? What is to be done? Make sure it's concise. It's very straightforward, outcome oriented. So it's one thing to start, to apply, to implement things, to get it off the ground, but it's another thing to finish and to complete and to execute. So you want to make sure that it's outcome oriented. That means you think oriented. That means you think with the end in mind. So you're focusing on the end goal and where you want to be, instead of putting all your focus in the front end. You want to make sure you think with the end in mind, and that's outcome oriented. And also you want to be inclusive with including people. So diversity, equity, inclusion, having an inclusive environment and making sure people feel like they belong in your and what you got going on in your organization is a vital part as well to your mission. All right. How do you create vision and mission statements? So I've included a few resources in the module, so you can check those out, as well as looking at other external resources outside of your curriculum for this course. For one, you learn what is important to people in your community. So what's the need? What's the necessity? What do people value? What's the shared value between you and your community? So you do that by listening sessions or public forums. Also focus groups, getting together a group of experts and listening to what they have to say. Interviews, just interviewing and surveying and just getting the feedback from the ground. The second thing is decide on the general focus of your organization. What's the general consensus of what you're going to focus on for your organization? What's the topic? What are the parameters? What's the scope of your operation? Thirdly, you want to develop your vision and mission statements, right? So that's the time when you actually are scribing and you're developing what your vision is and what your mission is. Next, you obtain consensus on your vision and mission statements. So you get agreements, whether that be your focus groups, your interviews, your information that you collected. You want to make sure that's all in line and it's all agreeing with each other. And lastly, you decide how you will use your vision and mission statement. So that's when you talk about the aesthetics, the formatting, the letterhead, the website, press kit, marketing plans, annual reports, etc. So these are some examples of the vision statements, and you can take time in your spare time to dissect these and look deeper. Maybe you can look at their value statements, their diversity statements, as well as their mission statements. But this is a list of some of the prominent companies that operate in our economy. So you look at Disney, to make people happy. So theirs is really simple. Google, to provide access to the world's information in one click. And they're getting close to that, right? So you see how the vision speaks to where you want to go and where you see yourself in the future. So Instagram, capture and share the world's moments. LinkedIn, create economic opportunity for every member of the global workforce. Nike, to bring inspiration and innovation to every athlete in the world. Shopify, to make commerce better for everyone. Tesla, to accelerate the world's transition to sustainable energy. Wow, that's a good one. It kind of speaks to the environmental, and it kind of has a social ring to that when you talk about social entrepreneurship. Uber, we ignite opportunity by selling the world in motion. And then lastly, Whole Foods, to nourish people and the planet. So those are some great examples of vision statement, and you can see how clear and concise they are. It doesn't have to be a paragraph. It doesn't have to be 3 or 4 sentences. Not to say that it couldn't be that long, but just being concise and sticking to your goal, to your objective, is a little bit more efficient and effective. All right, some examples of mission statements: building a healthy community through a comprehensive initiative to promote jobs, education, and housing. So that's a mission. The last one we looked at was a vision. So the vision looks at the future. The mission is what drives you. What's your drive? Why? What's your why, basically? So the first example is building a healthy community through a comprehensive initiative to promote jobs, education, and housing. So basically, what are you doing? The second one is promoting adolescent health and development through school and community support and prevention. So both it tells you what they're doing and why they're doing it and what they plan to do as far as the mission is concerned. So the mission and vision are similar, but there are a few nuances that make them different. So I want you to go back and do some research and actually look at companies' visions and mission statements to see the differences, and make sure you put those nuances in your mission and vision when you're developing your idea for the term project this semester. And here's like the roadmap to success, if you want to call it, as far as the idea generation stage and just getting your startup off the ground. So first you want to have the mission statement. Who are we? What we value, right? So that speaks to the value proposition that we talked about. So again, who are we? Who am I? And what do I value? The vision statement is what we want to become. So again, it's speaking in future tense. You see where you're at now, you see a path to get there, you see where you want to go, and you speak to that in your vision statement. What we want to become. What do I see myself, or who do I see myself in the future? How do I identify? What do I want to strive to be in the future? Then you have your strategy. How will we achieve our vision? So we talked about where we're at, the environmental scanning, where we want to go, because we're thinking with the end in mind. And then that middle piece is the plan or the strategy. How are you going to get there? How are you going to get from point A to point B to become successful in whatever it is you set out to do as far as your product or your service is concerned? And then lastly, your goals and objectives. How we gauge our degree of success. So that speaks to evaluation, assessment, the feedback, customer reviews. You want to take all those things and see how you perform. So you need metrics in order to see whether you perform above the threshold or below the threshold, and then you can make decisions moving forward according to the feedback and according to the goals and objectives and whether you reach them or not. And then you can see down the bottom it says communicating purpose to stakeholders. So we talked about stakeholders in the beginning of the presentation. The mission and the vision is designed to capture that value, capture the stakeholders, so you can get that support and that following and that customer retention that you need to be sustainable and operate in your particular space or industry. That concludes lecture 5, module 8. If you have any questions, please give me a call, shoot me a text, shoot me an email. I'm always available. My door is always open. I'll be happy to sit down with you and go over any concepts or any issues that you might be having. So have a blessed day. Thanks a lot. See you next time.